Kia ora.
I understand the next call is a split call. Sue Moroney, 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to say that it would be a pleasure to stand and speak on the Legal Assistance Amendment Bill, but I'm afraid in this case it's not, because it is a bill that actually restricts the access to justice. And the Speaker who just resumed her seat, Claudette Hauiti, I think, I was really looking forward to the sort of difference that she might make to the kaupapa and the rhetoric coming from the National Party, but unfortunately all she's done is taken it in hook, line and sinker, because there she is saying that it's a good thing. It's actually a good thing in her view that the National Party is curtailing people's access to actually ensure that they've got the resources to have a fair go. Because that's what this is about, Mr. Speaker. It is about, as Labor believes, everyone's right to have a fair go in our justice system. Because isn't that what the justice system is supposed to be all about? It's supposed to be about ensuring fair outcomes, that everyone has a fair go. And yet at the outset, what this bill is doing is curtailing the ability, particularly for low-income people, to actually have that fair go right from the word go. And in particular, it has implications for women, because women more frequently are in that low-income area, and they do. And I know that Judith Collins and Hekia Parata don't think that this is an important issue, that we actually analyse these pieces of legislation from the perspective of what the impact is on women, because I know that their party now doesn't even require some independent analysis of any gender impact analysis on any piece of legislation, because they, get this, Mr. Speaker, they have mainstreamed gender analysis in the National Party. And what that means is that the same ministry officials who come up with this legislation are the ones that get to analyse what the impact is on a gender basis. So they've done away with the Ministry of Women's Affairs having a role in having an independent scrutiny over all of these pieces of legislation to say, how does this impact on women? And no surprises from the National Party that they actually don't care. They actually don't care about what the impact is on women, and in this instance with this bill, on children as well, because the advice that they got from their own officials was that this bill does have a disproportionate effect, and a badly disproportionate effect, on women and children, particularly as they try to actually ensure that they get a fair go through the family court services. And that is an area that many women come into contact with the justice system, and it is probably for them the first time that they are caused to think about that very important issue of actually getting a fair go. And getting a fair go means having equal access to representation, having equal representation to knowledge and information, and that's where this bill does not give them a fair go, because it actually limits the number of people who can actually get access to legal aid, to ensure that they have got access to representation, access to information, access to advice. And that, Mr. Speaker, is a cornerstone of our justice system, or at least it once was. It once was a cornerstone of our justice system until the National Party decided that cost-cutting was superior to actually having access to justice as a cornerstone to our justice system. So, Mr. Speaker, it is with a heavy heart that I speak in opposition, and strong opposition, to this bill, because in the Labor Party, equality of access to justice is a fundamental principle. It is one that will not be supported by this bill, and therefore we cannot and will not support this bill.
I call Matere Ture.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I agree with